The general is checking on something for the good of the security of America. He has called up Randall Stevenson in Dallas and told him the invasion is a go. Oh, not with the general's voice, of course. Called up all in Utah with those Muslim, Saudi Arabian Muslim terrorists on American soil and in that Arabic, whatever it is they talk. I told him that. And yeah, he saw what he expected. The terrorists pouring out of Utah to the rest of the world, and America's phone shut down. Oh, yours is shut down right now. Try to call me. 424-229-4140. Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines. Post.
David Wright, the LADWP, Department of Water and Power for Los Angeles top guy, he's been called before the Senate subcommittee. And the senator asked him, what do you know about Cheryl Bond under your employment? What do you know about him? Harassing a man in a wheelchair, altering his payment to the Department of Water and Power over the phone. What do you know about that? And what do you know about me not reaching Melton? 424-229-4140. Lots of Americans not reaching Melton. And what did you do about that as far as Cheryl Bond and his Iranian wife Moo's threat to Los Angeles and America? What did you do about that? This image here was removed, yes, by Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese folks on hand with high-tech toys, removed from my joined parables. I always do my latest. I've featured this in quite a few different videos, and we'll be featuring even more because it's been stolen out of my joined folder for the 93 check imagery. Look for it to be featured in a whole lot of videos, every other one. And yeah, Joe's doing his job. He's parked a noisemaker outside of a Chinese laundromat, just like the Chinese parked Spectrums, AT&T Spectrum outside. And he's got that Chinese manager yelling and screaming in Chinese. Sounds like a farting language if you don't know what it sounds like. And he takes that audio and video to Military Pitbull Project, who deciphers and finds out what Wang is planning with the Mormons, the Muslim brothers on American soil and AT&T. Do that left and right. The Chinese jeopardizing our security in your neck of the woods. Mormons, Muslims, and the AT&T as well. The Senate subcommittee has called LA's mayor to testify. And the senator says, you knew all about Melton. John Melton Brady asking for Flight 93 checks of America's lifelines for over a decade. And not getting one. No certified mail, no non-certified mail, no FedEx, no UPS. You also knew about Cheryl Bond with his Mideast wife. What did you do to look into matters knowing that he had been taking an active part in America's hijacked lifelines with his position with the Department of Water and Power, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power? What did you do to ensure the safety of your citizens, considering Bond's traitor status? And everyone awaits the mayor's words. Solari Enterprises, a manager, has been woken up by hatred noise. Either something backing up or what you hear outside their leaf blower. And he gets that call again.
He's at his wit's end. They want to know what Saudi Arabian terrorist he has on American soil employing and housing without even proper credentials, passports, that kind of thing. And he freaks. The furball just starts screaming out whatever Solari Enterprises is involved in. Put those pressures on. It's Intel for America, guys. Also of Solari. Check it posted 5 with them on speakerphone. Try to call me. Jeff got his pants back from the dry cleaners, Wang's, and Wang apparently liked his pants and wore them out somewhere. And in the pants was a folded up piece of paper. He didn't know what it said, so he took it to John of the Military Pitbull Project, and he had somebody decipher, and the guy who deciphers says, yeah, right here it says, we make Pearl Harbor look like walk-in park. And there's a whole lot of other stuff they're going to have to get into, but yeah, it's the same reason. Don't expect that to happen. To do the Mormon Muslim, AT&T employee, and Chinese watch call-ins. Find out what they're planning before they get it done. See a vapor trail or two. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets. The size of children and truth. Make a video of your hijack call to me, Melton. 424-229-4140. Not one Flight 93 check call. Not one check of America's Lifelines. In over a decade of asking. Make that video. You got the time and the date in your video. You got my number dialed. You got AT&T's bloody phone gate. Worried enough about hijacking America's Lifelines to alter phone records to cover up the crimes, to get their hands even bloodier. Make that video, and yes, call up AT&T employees 24/7. Park noisemakers outside their homes. You get the truth out of them. Get them on that bad day. Just did some drugs, come home from the bar. Randall had them do something at work that was off the books, and it turned their stomach. They got a little guilt about it. Find out what else they're doing for Randall Stevenson, CEO. What else are they doing? Besides compromising our security as a nation and as family. Make the video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, post. Be the reporter. Yeah. Also call me up in front of reporters and with them on speakerphone as well. Show them how to do their job. It's Sunday, and Father Olfactory's handing out, he's explained before, and he's handing out a sheet. Oh, it could be my imagery, but the sheet has the burned child's face and body on that, and the sheet also has all AT&T's numbers across America and addresses. You put the screws on, you get those folks 24/7, and they will tell you what else they're doing besides burning children by hijacking the lifelines. 24/7, 365, park noisemakers outside their homes while their factory tells them, you get the truth out for Jesus and the children. Chang is an Oriental American. And you've heard about those camps back in the 40s, the 1940s. He's in one of those, and he was very connected to the streets, not only in America, but outside America. You know, my fun fiction, unseen business, often it just gets down to stuff you see around you all the time. Folks committing fraud or something else. And anyway, Jack is questioning Chang. And he becomes so angry, Chang does, at Jackson tell, that he jumps up and he says, well, after you see what we do at Pearl Harbor, you change your tune. Yeah, he's a little behind. And Jack will tell others, yeah, if only we'd start those camps a little earlier. Oh, I'd rather be talking about nice flower imagery, attractive blonde girl imagery, but the Mormons, the Muslims, the Chinese, and AT&T's constantly throwing their hate at me. Remember to be a part of that Mormon, Muslim, Chinese, AT&T watch call list. Why? Because that's your child's lifeline being hijacked for a decade. As you try to call me, not one Flight 93 check yet. Best reason, that and 9/11, to be a part of that military pitbull project watch call list. So 2 Mormon cult perverts are cases in the neighborhood, and one says to the other, look at that telephone pole. All that blood dripping down. And the other one explains, oh, that's Randall Stevenson's doing. Have some Catholics in this neighborhood. And Randall really likes to listen in on those hijacked 911 calls. Make that video of your hijack call to me, your family's hijack call to me. 424-229-4140. Remember to post. Get AT&T's and Randall Stevenson's bloody hands on video and post. Be the reporter. Siren, get me my disciples. I'm Melton, son of Carter and Mary. And yes, make that video of your hijack call to me. 424-229-4140. You got the time on your phone, you got the date in your video, you got AT&T's bloody handed phone. They bought Spectrum next door to harass a man in a wheelchair, and they're doing over the top stuff to do that with the Muslim Mormon cults. On hand here 24/7 as well. So I know why you can't come see me to be a disciple, but find those who can. Tell them, simple concept, he's in that apartment there 24/7, you go see him. We can get started building a better world. Do that. Here's Simon. 9/11, Flight 93, checking posting 5. Make sure your phone's allowed to work all the time. By trying to call me right now. Not one Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. No certified mail about those 93 checks. No FedEx, no UPS. In that time either. Call AT&T on their bloody hands and their threat to our security as individuals, families, and the nation. Get him on speakerphone. try to call me. Tell them you've got the time and date in your video and my number dialed. You can alter phone records all you want, getting your hands even bloodier. But America has your phone gate on video. And you park those noisemakers outside of all AT&T homes. The backup noise of Spectrum, louder than your average, because it's to harass the handsome bald guy here with the DVD in his hand. So call them on that. Park those noisemakers of yours outside their homes. Get a little justice for Mary's children of 9/11, for all children. You get them screaming out what else they're involved in besides hijacking America's lifelines and altering phone records to cover them up. They're crime tough. Do that. And remember to mail me those. Anything with a GPS, those will steal it. Those with bloody hands will steal that, whatever it is, phone, laptop. Use that GPS to find the stolen mail warehouses. And yeah, the easiest thing to do is make a video of your hijacked call to point out AT&T's bloody hands. Do that.
Here AT&T say you could call them on it. Put all AT&T employees on the backs of my 93 check imagery and the addresses as well. Park the noisemakers you got outside their homes. You call them up 24/7 and you find out what else they are involved in. Lower level employees will tell you everything about the treason, compromising of America's security that the upper level ones are doing, like Randall Stevenson. So you get that noisemaker going, you call them up 24/7. They park a fleet of noisemakers outside of my home. So you get them that noisemaker, and then you call them up 24/7. They will tell you what else they are involved in that's compromising our security as families, as individuals, and as a nation. Post. Tommy is the no-armed Chinese fella, manager of the streets of the unseen business. He just got a call from Rhea telling him she got a new recipe from her grandpa in Alabama. How to cook cat. The Orientals love the cats and the dogs, and not as pets, as dinner. Ask them if they're honest, they'll tell you. If not, you know. And Tommy's in a hurry to get home, but his unicycle has a flat tire, and he sees Leah about to get on her skateboard, and he says, "Give me that." And she says, "No." And he says, "Well," he just grabs it with his mouth, he tastes it and says, "Do you know how to use that?" And Tommy says, "Oh, don't be stupid. I knew how. I was very much a skateboarder when I was a kid." And he's not as good without his arms. He runs into a few things and bumps around and finally gets home to get that cat dinner. And yeah, he's still a little punchy, and his grandpa, his dad back in China, where he learned to skateboard, he would always play this game with Tommy and tell him to say "Open Sesame" when he got to the carport, and he'd press, of course, the remote, and the door would open. And yeah, he's a little punchy after falling down quite a bit, and yeah, he says "Open Sesame," and Dad's not there, and he runs right into that garage door. He's gonna have some nice cat though.
called up Tony, because Tony had told him to let him know if anything like this happened. And they both work for the Department of LA Water and Power. And Ralph tells Tony, yeah, Cheryl Bond was messing around over there with the water supply. And Tony says, well, we better check it. He's an active part in America's Hijacked Lifeline, so you run a check and we'll file the report. He shouldn't be anywhere near this place. Yeah, they didn't like my Cheryl Bond videos of yesterday, so my YouTube isn't working right now. Those on hand from the Rock, Chuck, and Colt of Utah with High-Tech Toys. And they're earning Cheryl a whole lot more videos. A quick imagery 4x6 slideshow because of the Mormon cult, Muslim cult, hate noise from down below. And yes, AT&T as well. The Chinese are the source of all evil for many millennia now, and I figure I do enough of these, it will drive them crazy. And they'll stop having their doggies harass me. Oh, 29,000 plus graphic art photos. Imagery links there, follow the links. You'll find that as a 4x6 probably there, and in gold as well. Old English and transferred the 4 times as many fonts from the computer in the bedroom to this one that's connected to the internet, and the GIMP doesn't use it. It's not, maybe I have to turn it off, who knows, but that right there I believe is Chinese giving me the finger because they don't like the Saints and the Old English and other fonts. Give me my disciples so I can give them something to worry about. Truth. A whole lot of it. So the general was barking out orders, and I'll clean stuff up for you. Says, I want you to organize more complete files on every California cop, their habits, what illegal activity they're involved in, basically the Muslims and the Mormon cults. I'm not going to have those rock-chucking, political correct folks of California invade America through that cowardly Hussein place and state. You get our folks of the military streets, civilians, good cops across America, getting some intel on their dangerous activity, Michael Moore in particular. Keep me updated. On my OneDrive accessible through my Links Excel. Yeah, I'm putting it here because a cop sounding guy from the patio out there threatened to put a bullet in my ass, so I might as well get this up. Make sure you put California's cowardly cops right there on that template. Of May 2019, and a cowardly California cop, what it sounded like, and quite a few of them in this apartment complex run by Solari Enterprises, both of which are threats to our security as a nation. Pick up your phone, 424-229-4140. Make a video of America's Hijacked Lifelines. Call California's crooked cops 24/7, home and office. Find out what else they are a threat to our security with. And yes, threatened, I'll put a bullet in his ass.
I'll put the fear of God in your ass. Fountain of youth in the eyes. 2 millennia from now, as you're still hanging by those balls of steel, that little embarrassment to mankind long gone. Pain, your only use in our fun, fictional, unseen business. I'll put the fear of God in your ass. Welcome to hell, Utah on Earth.
Man requesting that you park your noisemakers outside of his home. Call him up 24/7. A lot of AT&T employees, Spectrum is included, they bought Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. A lot of them have requested that you do that. Call them 24/7, park outside their homes, honk, nothing else. They made it personal with me and you. Let your family's lifeline not working as you try to call me. You don't know when this won't be allowed to work, but Randall Stevenson's hatred is not going to be newsworthy. So you park outside their homes, all AT&T employees. You get the truth out about whatever else they're doing. You get them when they just did their drugs, had a fight with their wife, Randall's overworking them, and they will tell you just what the AT&T's compromising of our security is. Other than hijacking lifelines and altering phone records to get their hands even more bloody.
I'll do a little testing for the photos, slideshow. Yeah, let's see how best way to do it is. It's a little hard to reach. It's the end of the counter, but I'll work on it.
9/11, Flight 93 checking posts and files with all AT&T employees 24/7. Find out what else they're planning. Do they have another Saudi Arabian? Do they have another Saudi Arabian? 9/11 through Utah planned? We'd like to know. You seem to be over the top and taunting and harassing a man in a wheelchair, and your families all across America. That's your lifeline not being allowed to work. As you tried to call me. Just some of these, I hope to get them all in one big video. Screenshots from just May 2019. Make that video, post that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, I hope to get up on OneDrive on my Links Excel, the SoCam at Live one. Updated today, if not tomorrow. Make that video, whatever you get. When you don't get me, you get those cowardly, excuse me, Hussein places. How did they place a cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins? Yeah, your family's lifeline not working. Whatever boring thing you get when you try to call me, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Not going to be boring if you need the firemen, police, paramedics. It's money out of your pocket every day. Your AT&T livelihood. But that, yes, when you're a politician, that means, yeah, you get that boring thing, you're calling up countless other folks to tell them what to vote for, who to vote for. Yeah, that's how they placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House, Senate subcommittee kind of stuff. Americans for unhijacked lifelines and fairly elected officials in the screenshot there. That's how they did that. Remember, make that video. You got the time, you got the date in your video. You're trying to call me, Melton, 424-229-4140. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me, it's not going to be boring, yes, and it's money out of your pocket, your AT&T livelihood. But the most important thing is your hijacked lifeline. America's compromised security with AT&T next door. Bought Spectrum to harass a man in a wheelchair. Make that video, and yes, send me anything, put it in the mail. If it's got my address on it, it's going to be stolen by those getting their hands bloody hijacking your call to me. I saw it all. I see a terrorist at work from 2010, I think. Those getting their hands bloody hijacking your calls, and that'd be AT&T, yes, and others. Worried enough about their crimes getting caught for them that they're altering phone records to cover that up. You explain to every AT&T employee. You got the time and date on your video. You got your hijack call to me. You've got AT&T's phone game. The reason for, oh, that's the Devil Lori's number, 9776 at the end. The reason for the Mormon, Muslim, AT&T, Chinese, watch call list, all, put them all on there. Call them up 24/7, try to call me, 424-229-4140. Ask them, what else are you involved in? Besides America's hijacked lifelines, are you planning another Saudi Arabian 9/11 for us? They will tell you. You call them up often enough, you get them when they just got high, or they just got drunk, or they just had Randall Stevenson getting his hands even bloodier, having them do something off the books that turned their stomach. They got a pang of guilt over it. You give them at just that right time, they'll tell you. Do that. A lot of those folks aren't getting as much money as Randall Stevenson. So yeah, when you see those Mormon cult perverts casing your neighborhood, when the only ones home are your kids after school, and you know about those Muslim missionary, that Muslim missionary work, don't you? Yes, 9/11. Remember to honk at those Mormon perverts, casing those neighborhoods when the only ones home are the kids after school. I know I got you somewhere. Honk at them. Let them know you're watching. Let all the folks on the Mormon, Muslim, Chinese, AT&T watch call list. Let them all know that America is keeping an eye on them. The Lord and America are keeping an eye on them. (424-229-4140). Try to call me. Them on speakerphone. Yeah, my muscles are finally kicking in. We'll have to end the video. I'll low def it and have it in tomorrow's. Yeah, Taliban, Osama, from both the patio over to my left and just now talking about the Taliban. In AT&T's parking lot with a whole lot of folks. Find out what else they got planned. They got all those connections right there. 24/7 park fleet of noise makers outside their homes. Find out. Do some intel for America. Prevent that next Saudi Arabian 9/11. 24/7, 365, noise and calls for all of these folks. Making it personal with a man in a wheelchair and you. That's your family's lifeline being hijacked as you try to call me.
Some Saints imagery, they're all out of order, and I think a few have disappeared, so I'm going to cut them out. These are laminated 4x6 photos you can find at saints-imagery.blogspot.com. Check it out. And yeah, I'm going to cut them out and see what's missing and look for more of them. I should have about a year's worth of Saints, a day apiece. If I'm missing one here or there, I'll find that out and get back to it. But yeah, try to call me, tell me about your Saint, and come see me in person. 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, Apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Tell me all about that Saint. Needs an image. If you do have a Saint that needs a nice graphic or image, yeah, you come see me in person. 424-229-4140. See the devil, steal your call. And no, your Saint doesn't have to be well known. The lesser known Saints need the imagery to be known. 4260 Eagle Rock Boulevard, Apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Come see me in person, and yes, if you got some nice photos that would work for Saints imagery, yeah, you probably have to see me in person too. Have that Saints photo be used as a Saints photo, because yes, the same folks hijacking your call, 424-229-4140. Also stealing mail and emails.